Welcome. Yes, welcome. Welcome, welcome. Welcome back. We're live and we are in living color on another episode of Roll the Tape podcast. I know that you're accustomed, most of you returning viewers, you are accustomed to me using the StreamYard platform to be able to broadcast. I will be using the platform again because, of course, that platform allows for you all to be a part of the experience on the panel and to be able to experience me posting thumbnails, pictures, video, and even audio. But right now, we're going to broadcast this way because later tonight, I'm opening this broadcast the right way now. Later this evening, I'm going to need every one of you to come back here tonight. I'm going to do something that I've never done before since I've been on YouTube, and that is I am going to come back on YouTube twice. So I'm doing a YouTube right now live. You already know what we're going to discuss. And then tonight, I just want you all to come back, and I'll tell you why in just a few minutes. Before I tell you anything, I want to salute my guy BVO Boxing. I see you in the chat, brother. Thanks for stopping by. Please listen to BVO Boxing LLC. Go listen to him. First, listen to him in the chat. He's encouraging each and every last one of you as the viewership is increasing exponentially to smash the like button. Because when you smash the like button, guess what happens? The information, the entertainment and education reverberates all across the world on the YouTube platform. Mr. Vegas, what's going on? Mr. Vegas is really Mr. Vegas in real life. I met Mr. Vegas when I was out in Vegas. Good guy. Appreciate your support and your encouragement, Mr. Vegas. Who else did I see in here? Mike Biggs Boxing is in the building. I see you. We're going to have a great show tonight. But before we get to tonight, we're going to have a great show right now. Right now, live in living color. You know what you came here for. I know what you came here for. If this is your first time being a part of our experience on Roll the Tape podcast with Manager Marty, I welcome you. Feel free to like and subscribe to this if you are a returning viewer. I appreciate your viewership. I got Rodney Day Jr. in the chat. He calls me Mr. Qualified. Absolutely. And that's coming from a qualified guy himself. So I want to welcome each and every last one of you that's in the chat right now. While the viewership is increasing exponentially and I got some of your attention, I want to let you all know that we're going to have a good show today, but we're going to have probably an even better show tonight. I have a special guest that's going to be joining this broadcast tonight, and I need each and every last one of you that are watching this live and the replay of this live to make a commitment. If you're not busy tonight at 8 o'clock on the East Coast, 7 o'clock Central Time. On the West Coast, it'll be 5 o'clock p.m. But on the Eastern Time Zone at 8 o'clock p.m., I have a special guest that's going to join us tonight. So please come back tonight at 8 o'clock. But before you come back, we have to talk about the suspension of Errol Spence Jr. That's what you came here for. We're going to discuss that right now. I'm going to tell y'all who's going to be here tonight. In just a few minutes, I want the viewership to increase even more exponentially than it's been doing so far. Once we get the number I'm looking for, I'm going to tell y'all who's going to be here tonight. Because we have an interview to conduct tonight at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And we look forward to it. I'm going to announce who he is. He's going to be here live tonight. Man. Yes, Errol Spence Jr. is suspended. I see Daryl. We're going to talk about that right now. Errol Spence Jr. is suspended. Now, before I talk about the suspension, though, let's highlight what we just heard Floyd Mayweather say today. I don't know if he said it today, but it was published today. I believe the interview was on Fight Hype. Floyd Mayweather himself, he was at the fight. Many of you know that. The fight was in Vegas. And the fight's in Vegas. And he was there, you know what I mean? And the thing about it is, this is what I liked about Floyd. He said he didn't want to take anything away from Crawford, in his win. You know what I mean? Because he deserved credit for his win. You know what I mean? And he also said, I believe he don't want to take nothing away from Spence. But he said, based on his observation, now you know Floyd Mayweather is very credible in this sport, but based on his observation, he believed that Errol Spence was dehydrated in this fight. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a medical professional. I don't know. But I'm just going by the words of Floyd Mayweather Jr., TBE, as he refers to himself as, and he definitely is one of the best that ever laced up a pair of gloves. And let me tell you something. The viewership is increasing, right? But it's increasing so exponentially. I may have to tell you who our special guest is going to be coming on this platform tonight. As quicker than I thought I would, because I'm telling y'all, this thing is good for boxing. This fight between Crawford and Spence, it's good for boxing. And I see the number that I was looking for. I see the number that I've been looking for on the viewership. Now, you might see 3 digits on your end. I might even see 3 digits on my end. But I'm here to tell you that when I end this broadcast, it's going to be way more views and viewers that's watching me live right now than what you see on your screen. And because of that, before we finish talking about Errol Spence being suspended, I need you all to give me your commitment to come back on this platform tonight at 8 o'clock tonight. I'm not going to hold you long today, right now, because we got to deal with this right now. We got to deal with Errol Spence being suspended. But before I go into that, I need you all to come back tonight, 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time, 7 o'clock p.m. Central, and then 5 o'clock p.m., of course, Pacific. I'm going to tell you why. Let me sip my tea. Iced tea. Now, we have a special guest that's going to be here tonight. You've seen his face just last Saturday night. You've seen his face. If you watched the live broadcast on Showtime, you've seen him in the ring. I am referring to my guy, Mr. Harvey Dock, one of the best professional boxing referees in the world. He will be here with us tonight. Now, some of you might say, Manager Marty, I heard the name Harvey Dock before. Or Manager Marty, I've seen a guy named Harvey Dock before, but I don't recall who he is. Let me tell you the last 2 fights he's done in Vegas. High-profile fights. If you don't remember who he is, he was the 3rd man in the ring with the Devin Haney versus Vasily Lomachenko fight. He was the referee in that fight, and you just seen him last Saturday night as the 3rd man in the ring, the referee that officiated the Errol Spence Jr. versus Terrence Crawford fight. He will be here on the platform tonight at 8 o'clock p.m. in a live exclusive interview with yours truly, none other than me, Manager Marty. Now, so I need you all to come on back on the channel tonight at 8. Don't leave now. We got some talking of boxing we got to do now. But I'm just going to keep reminding y'all throughout this broadcast that Harvey Dock, the referee of the 2 biggest fights of the year, besides Tank Davis and Ryan Garcia, and I'm talking about Devin Haney versus Lomachenko. He was the referee in that fight, and he also was the referee in the Errol Spence Jr. versus Terrence Crawford fight. And we're going to highlight him. We're going to get his background. He's a good man outside of the ring, but he's also a great man inside of the ring as an official. We're going to get his perspective. We're going to talk a little bit about his background and a lot of great things that we have in store tonight to talk about with the third man in the ring, and that is the official referee, Mr. Harvey Dock. He'll be here tonight at 8 o'clock. Now let's get to Errol Spence being suspended by the Nevada State Athletic Commission. It is true. Yes, Big Dose 513. Yes, I did. Yes, I did, Big Dose. Big Dose 513, I want to salute him. He produced an instrumental from scratch, and he donated it to me. I don't have the lyrics yet, Big Dose, because I didn't get an opportunity yet with my schedule to go into the studio and lay them vocals down, lay them lyrics down. I spit, I rap. I haven't rapped in a while, so I am a little rusty. But I'm gonna go in there and do my 1-2 on that beat, Big Dose, that you sent me in the studio. Salute, Steph Brown from Orange County, California. I see you. Now, yes, it is true. It has been confirmed. Errol Spence Jr. has been suspended from the Nevada State Athletic Commission. Now, some people may say he got suspended because of a rib injury. Some people might even say, I got you, Big Dose. I'm definitely going to send you what did you tell me to do? Save a verse on it for you? Absolutely. I got you. Some people may say that it's because of Errol Spence having a rib injury. I don't know if he had an injury or not to his ribs. I don't know that. I can only go by what's circulating around on the YouTube boxing community. But that's not why he was suspended, even if he did have a rib injury. I'm not denying that he did, or I'm not confirming that he did, because I don't know. But according to the people I trust, and I'm referring to other content creators that I trust, they said that, yes, he did suffer a rib injury. But that's not attributed, even if he did, that's not attributed to why he's suspended. You may have heard that the doctor, I think he's a neurologist, or he has some kind of background in neurology. The doctor that everybody's talking about, the doctor that said that he believes, based on his evaluations, that Errol Spence speech has deterred and that he has neurological issues. You've heard of that doctor, right? Well, I'm going to tell you the reason why Errol Spence Jr. is suspended has nothing to do with what that doctor said. There is no correlation whatsoever that's been confirmed of that's the reason why Errol Spence is suspended. I'm going to tell you why he's suspended. I'm going to tell you. And this is not to discredit anybody else. I'm going to tell you because I have the accurate information. And y'all know how I am about accuracy. I want all of us to be on the same page. All right? Now, I want you all in the chat to engage with me. We're going to have some fun today. And then tonight, we're going to come back and have some more fun at the after party. And I'm talking about at 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time, when the referee, the third man in the ring, one of the best professional boxing referees in the world, will be joining us live tonight. Harvey Dock, the referee who officiated the Devin Haney versus Vasily Lomachenko fight in May. And then, of course, he also officiated the fight last Saturday night between Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence Jr. Mr. Harvey Dock will be with us tonight in an exclusive interview right here live in living color on another episode of Roll the Tape podcast with Manager Marty. Now, there's a word called credentials. And I said this time and time again on this channel. Credentials must be produced in order to maintain credibility. In other words, is your credentials is the gateway between you and credibility. And there are times in this business that I use my credentials and my credibility to be able to get access for my audience. I need information to give back to my audience, which is you, the roll, the tape, film crew members. Yes, you. And I appreciate your viewership. Y'all, I got to take my glasses off. Because when I tell you that the viewership is just constantly increasing exponentially, I get excited about it. Because let me tell you this, and I haven't said this in a while. This is important. It only takes one person, just one. It only takes one person to learn something about the sport and the business of boxing from this platform, from this channel, and it will satisfy me. It only takes one. If you want to satisfy me, all you got to do is learn something that you did not know before you encountered this channel. Something that you did not know about the sport and or the business of boxing. Just one person. It satisfied me. Now, I see somebody in the chat. What up, Todd? I see you, Todd. I hope we get the Rick Glaser debate soon as well. Todd, I don't know if you know Mr. Glaser, Todd, but I have spoken to Mr. Rick Glaser several times on the phone. I've emailed him as well, but more recently we haven't emailed. We've been talking on the phone, and I'm talking about under a minute long conversations. Okay? And I'm saying all of that because I think it's healthy for two men in the business to be able to provide education and entertainment for you. And so, yes, I welcome Rick Glaser. He knows that he know what time it is with me. But I'm just saying we have to get the right timing for this debate. It just has to make business sense, not just for me, but it has to make business sense for him. And it has to make sense for my audience. And I told him that. You know, everybody want to run with this 11 o'clock at night. Listen, it ain't too many things, you know what I mean? Hey, there's certain things at 11 o'clock at night that people do, there's no righteousness to it. I'm just saying, listen, I be asleep most of the time. And if I'm woke, I'm just relaxing. So we got to get our times in order. Now off of Rick Glaser and back to Errol Spence being suspended by the Nevada Athletic Commission. Now, let me explain to you how this works in the business of boxing and in the sport of boxing, and you'll understand why Errol Spence is suspended. He is not suspended because he has a rib injury that has not been confirmed from medical personnel, not that I know of. He has not been suspended because of a doctor on YouTube that said he had neurological issues. Based on information that I received, I was not notified of any of that information. So I'm not going to assume that. But I will tell you, back to credentials, that every now and then I use my credentials to gain access to information to give back to you. And that's exactly what I did. So let me tell you, this is not just from me. These are the words that are represented by the Nevada State Athletic Commission themselves. I've gotten information. You see, it's all about credentials now. What's going on with my phone? My phone's not working? What's happening here? Somebody, my man, Mr. Gregory, said my phone is not working. What's going on? My phone not working, y'all? Somebody talk back to me, please. Somebody asked me what's wrong with my phone. What's going on with the phone? Oh, okay. So everybody. Oh man, they say somebody's saying, all right, it's working now. All right, because I don't have Boost Mobile. I don't have Boost Mobile. All right, phone is perfect. Now, I've spoken to my contacts over at the Nevada State Athletic Commission. I've already spoken to them. Now, I already know the information, but I'm just telling y'all that because of credibility and credential purposes. So I can, when I give you the info, you know it's solid, like everything else. All right? That I present you. Can't speak for nobody else. Let's get right down to business. Now, every commission in this country that facilitate the sport of boxing or any combat sport or any sport of that matter, excuse me, all have different rules and regulations. So Texas may have different rules than Pennsylvania. New Jersey may have different rules than Nevada. New York may have different rules than Nevada. They all have different rules, different protocols, different regulations, different procedures, just like the sanctioning bodies, right? Excuse me. So, hold on. I'm trying to get rid of this little cold, man. Anyway, feeling better than yesterday, I'll tell you that. Now, we have to go by the regulations and rules of the Nevada State Athletic Commission. And according to their rules, okay, I'm talking about why Errol Spence was suspended. According to their rules, Errol Spence was suspended because this is something that every commission in the country of the United States of Sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. I'm messing up the live. I'm sorry. This is something that the Nevada State Athletic Commission have in common with other commissions in the country, right? Of the United States of America. Excuse me. And that is that anytime a fighter, professional boxer, or professional athlete, but we're going to condense it to boxing. Anytime a professional boxer gets knocked out, meaning that the referee doesn't have to step in and wave the fight off or call a bout. They don't beat the count or they're unconscious. Excuse me. That's a knockout. We know what a technical knockout is, right? TKO is when the referee has to intervene and stop the bout, or if a fighter or professional boxer retires on their stool, meaning that they refuse to come out of the rest period to resume the round or the next round. That's a TKO. In Errol Spence's case, it's common practice and protocol for every commission to suspend a fighter who sustains either an injury and or is knocked out or TKO. I don't see any of the comments happening right now. I don't know what's going on with this. I don't know if it's my phone acting up or not. But even when I don't feel good, I still got to maintain my commitment to create content, to give you all information, to be a part of the boxing community. And that's exactly what I'm doing right now. Now, it's common practice for all of the commissions all across the country. And it's common protocol for all the commissions all across the country of the United States to suspend a fighter who is deemed either knocked out or lost by TKO. Now, who orchestrates that procedure? The ringside physician is the doctor in charge, the medical professional who determines when a fighter and how long a fighter is suspended for. Okay? I just want to make sure that we are on the same page with this. Now, when a fighter is TKO'd or knocked out, they are automatically suspended, right? But who gives the recommendation is the ringside physician. The ringside physician is the medical professional who is licensed, right, through the athletic commission of that particular state. All right. Now, with that being said, in Errol Spence Jr.'s case, in Errol Spence Jr.'s case, he was suspended for 60 days. According to the Nevada State Athletic Commission's regulations, the minimum that a ringside physician, and they usually base it on how many rounds the fight went, how long the fight went for, how many times the fighter gets knocked down, if any times, how bad or how badly injured or hurt the fighter is. Was the fighter fighting back at the time of the stoppage? Was the fighter defenseless? They include all of those elements when determining how long a fighter is suspended for. Now, according to the Athletic Commission in Nevada, right, the minimum of a suspension is 45 days with 30 days of no contact. All right? You did not hear that part yesterday or no other day. So I'm giving it to you right here because somebody just said we heard all this yesterday. No, you didn't. And even if you did, that's great because it's all about entertainment and education on this channel. Now, the minimum of 45 days of a suspension with 30 days of no contact. No sparring, no boxing activity, nothing. These are all precautionary measures to protect the fighter. All right? Now, here's how this works. When the 60 days, in Errol Spence's case, it could be 90 days, could be 30 days, it could be the minimum of 45 days. We know it's always going to be a minimum of 45 days in the state of Nevada. I just said that part. But it can be indefinitely. Like we saw this in the state of California with Hank Lundy, where he was suspended, but it was indefinitely. Lomachenko was suspended months before he fought Devin Haney. It was indefinite. So we've seen these time frames before. But in the case of Errol Spence and any other fighter that gets suspended, there's a proper protocol. So let's use 60 days as an example in Errol Spence's case. After the 60 days have expired, Errol Spence can't just go right in the ring and just have a professional bout. That's not how it works. The protocol is that there are other measures that must be handled and taken into consideration before the ringside physician and the commission give the thumbs up. And one of those recommendations and elements involved is, in Spence's case, he would have to go and be evaluated, thoroughly evaluated by a neurologist. He would have to undergo CAT scans and all other type of exams utilizing technology. Once he's cleared, then he can come provide those documentations to the commission or the executive directors of the commission over there in Nevada. And then they can deem If it is suffice, if it's credible, they can even make him do certain moves, you know, they meaning the commissioners, to make sure he is able to compete without being re-injured, or at least their job is to protect them from being re-injured if an injury was sustained. I can't speak to whether or not Spence had a concussion or not. I'm not a medical professional. Somebody in the chat mentioned that about concussion. I don't know if he was concussed or not. But I will say that the protocol is he cannot fight, not just him, anybody, but we're talking about Spence. He cannot compete in of the ring under suspension, I'm talking about, without first being cleared by a neurologist. And then the ringside physician will make the observation after that. So that's how the process works. I just want to make sure we all on the same page, because I don't want narratives to be floating around YouTube if they haven't already. So that, you know, we all can be on the same page. Because it's not fair to none of the fighters involved, or the promoters for that matter, to hear all this news and people start following it, and the news is not even true. So that's the thing with Spence, The thing with Spence is he was TKO'd. He was knocked down 3 times in this fight. And on top of that, this happened all in the 9th round. All right. So all of these perspectives that we're hearing on YouTube must be put into proper context. And you have to know the protocol to put it in proper context. And I just explained the protocol to you all. This is how the process actually works. All right? And so that's what we're here for. We're here to talk about this thing. So Errol Spence is suspended for 60 days. According to Nevada State Athletic Commission, the minimum days required are to suspend him for 45 days, or any fighter, the minimum, and 30 days with no contact. But in this case, it's usually 60 days for someone in, Spencer's situation, being knocked down 3 times. The fight was stopped by the referee later on in the fight. He took some very, very heavy blows. And so that's why the doctor made contact with him, with Spence. I'm talking about the ringside physician, made contact with Spence and determined through his evaluation and his expertise after the fight that Spence needed to be suspended for 60 days. Right? So 60 days might not sound like a long time to you, or maybe it does. But in boxing, 60 days is a long time. And this is, once again, of inactivity. So Errol Spence will have an uphill battle to climb to be 100% in this rematch, even if he climbs up to 54. Even if he goes up there right now after he gets better and compete there. Bottom line is, we still have to see how he's going to respond. Because I told y'all before, and I'll tell y'all again. No. Good question, M-Easy BX. No, you might have missed it. He cannot spar. I don't know if people are saying that he's back in the gym training. If he's not, good for him. If he is, I hope he stops and somebody tell him, because he's in violation. And we don't need no one's license to be revoked permanently. So I don't want Spence to be training right now, because he can get in a lot of trouble for it. His body needs to rest. Okay, and now we all know that to be true. Whether you wanted Crawford to win or not, whether you wanted Spence to win or not, Crawford and Spence, both, particularly Spence, can fall back and chill right now. If Crawford want to fight, Good. Let him fight Boots. Not fighting no long Virgil Ortiz. No. Or what's the kid's name? That fought that fought what's his name? That fought Boots. Villia. No, not him. You know, not Alexis Rocha. None of them guys. Just go straight in and fight Boots if you're gonna still fight at 47. That's my opinion for Crawford. But Stanonius, yep, Stanonius too. Yep. So yeah, they're gonna have a rematch. Bud Crawford and Errol Spence will have a rematch. Absolutely. But what I'm saying is it can't take too long. But at the same time, I don't think it should be as early as December. That's too short of a time period, especially if the guy's coming off a 60-day layoff. He's putting more pressure on himself. Because in 60 days, it's going to be October. Now, he can have contact between those months, but December is too soon for Errol Spence to be in that ring again. Yeah, too soon. So my thing is, take a break, relax, chill, and go back to the drawing board, work on some issues and struggles that you've seen, and then be ready for 154 pounds. Because we know Spence cannot make the weight. We already know that already. Crawford said he can't make the weight, so we already know that already. So that's the proper protocol when a fighter is TKO. So that's the thing. I was surprised that he was only. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna keep it 100. I was surprised that Spence was only suspended for 60 days. I thought they was gonna give him at least 90 because of the punishment that he took in that ring, and because he didn't look like himself. Now Floyd Mayweather said that he believed that Errol Spence was dehydrated, in his personal observation being at the fight. But it don't make no difference what the reason of his for his performance. I just don't think he should be jumping right back in the ring in December. Because here's the thing, there's nothing wrong with taking tune-up fights. I know Errol Spence don't want to, but there's nothing wrong with it. It's all good. There's nothing wrong with it. Only thing is, you know, you should be expected to win. But if you coming off a bad loss, off a suspension, off of people watching how Crawford fought you and watching how they can pick up off of that and try to outbox Spence and counterpunch and do all that, we'll see. May not be the same outcome. We don't know. But what we do know today is that Errol Spence is suspended for 60 days. So, and like I said earlier, and I'm going to say it again, it's proper protocol. When a fighter is knocked out or knocked down, when I say knocked out, I mean knocked out in real life. When I say knocked down, I'm talking about if they can't beat the count or if they cannot continue, it becomes a TKO. Or in the case of Spence, who was knocked down the third time, got up and tried to fight back, but the writing was on the wall. The referee, Harvey Dock, knew what he saw. And so we shall see. And speaking of we shall see, I'm waiting on all of you to come back tonight. Don't miss this, y'all. Tonight. Come on back at 8 o'clock tonight. We have a special guest. I'm only saying this because the viewership is increasing exponentially. Special guest that's going to give us an exclusive interview right here on this channel. Right here on the Roller Tape Podcast with Manager Marty. Right here tonight. The third man that was in the ring with Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford. and that is my guy, Harvey Doc. He will be here tonight. I know that I'm on live now. I've never done 2 lives in one day, but it's very important and imperative that you all come back at 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern time. Because when you come back, we're going to deal with it and we're going to highlight Mr. Harvey Doc, get his evaluations, his expert opinion, and everything he has to offer all of us for educational purposes and entertainment. Because you've seen him in the Devin Haney versus Lomachenko fight, and now you see him again in one of the biggest fights of the century. Terrence Crawford versus Errol Spence. Now, Tune, thank you for your contribution to the channel and your support. I want to see Crawford versus Adames at 154. I don't want to see Crawford fight nobody else at 154 except as for the rematch with Spence. And I say that because the realistic thing about it is Crawford is not fighting Errol Spence in a rematch as early as December. It's too soon. He needs more time to recuperate. Okay? Now, the thing about it is this, though. Here's the thing. The thing about it is this. If he's coming off of a 60-day layoff, right? Spence, I'm talking about. Spence. He's come off of a 60-day suspension. And another 60-day layoff. Then he's got to get acclimated. Right? To getting back in the ring, taking punches. You know what I mean? Because your body is different when you take the kind of blow that Errol Spence took. Different. I have this saying, right? This saying goes like this. You may have heard me say this time and time again. There's 2 beatings that fighters take in that ring. Fighters get beat up and fighters get beat down. And I think Errol Spence on last Saturday night got beat down. We won't know if he got beat down unless he comes back and look like the same old Errol Spence that we are used to seeing him. Because everybody is entitled to have an off day at the office. All of us in the chat, watching this live and watching the viewership of this live, we all have had one bad day at the office. Or a day where we could have done our best. Like today, right now. This is not my best. But I'm here. No excuses, we here. Because I have to produce content for each and every last one of you. And I want to let you know this, because I think this is as equally as important. When it come down to this rematch, the best time to have this rematch is probably sometime in March. Yeah, March. So we don't know if he got beat up or beat down. We don't know. Only one that can show us that is Errol Spence when he start performing. That's how you know. You know? So, you know, this whole thing about the rematch, this whole thing about the rematch is going to come to the forefront because, look, Crawford said in a recent interview that he has no problem giving Errol Spence a rematch. That's what he said. That's what I heard him say. Thank you, Toon, for your contribution and your support to the channel. Love Spence. I bet on him, but I don't see nothing to suggest he can, was that beat Crawford or he can Crawford at any weight? Maybe that means he can't. There's nothing to suggest he can beat Crawford at any weight. He's too slow. Crawford was steps ahead at all time. I think Spence should get a tune-up or something and then go back. I agree with that. Yes. Thank you for your support and your contribution again to the channel, Tune. I agree with that as well. And you've heard me all say that last week when I did live. So if Spence is dehydrated, I mean, or if his training regimen wasn't right, or if he overtrained, we have to hold Derrick James accountable because Derrick James is the trainer. And we all know that. In fact, he just included more high profile fighters to his stable. So hopefully he can key in on Errol Spence going back to the drawing board to make this fight more competitive than it was before. We don't want to see nobody weight drain, overtraining. Your body will fail you every time. We want to see both fighters in their natural element, 100%. May the best man wins. Now, I need each and every last one of you. Make a commitment. Make one. Tonight, I welcome each and every last one of you to come back on this channel tonight. Please come back on this channel tonight. At 8 o'clock Eastern Time, we're going to have a special guest with us, referee Harvey Dock, in an exclusive interview, live in living color here on another episode of what? That's right, Roll the Tape Podcast with Manager Marty. And so I need you all to come back here. Don't forget, y'all. He was the third man in the ring. If you're just joining us live or the replay of this live, he was the third man in the ring when Lomachenko fought Devin Haney. Harvey Dock, the referee. Third man in the ring. Yes, he was. He officiated that fight between Devin Haney and Lomachenko. And you just seen him last Saturday night, live on the Showtime pay-per-view. Harvey Dock, the referee, was officiating the fight between Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford. He will be here tonight. Excuse me. Now, let me get this other super chat real quick. Oh, before I get this super chat, let me answer this question, because I did a poll earlier this morning about the Nip It in the Bud series, right? That segment that I designate for Terrence Bud Crawford fans. A lot of Crawford fans have been asking me in the comment section and in the chat recently, can I resume the Nip It in the Bud segments? Apparently they like it as fans. Apparently I like it as a content creator. And the audience likes it because it's always about entertainment and education. But I have to see. I want to know what y'all think about that. Should I resume the Nip It in the Bud segments? I know Terrence Crawford fans are waiting to grind me up. I know what you're waiting for. And as I always say to all the viewers, I welcome you, Terrence Crawford fans. It's all good. I know you want to grind me up. I see what you be saying to me in the chat. I see you. It's okay. If you want a platform to do that, if it is beneficial to the fan base, if it's beneficial to Crawford fans, absolutely, we can get it done. But I want to know, what do you all have to say, the audience, about that? Should I go back to resuming the Nip It in the Bud segments? Let me know in the comment section below and in the chat live. Tune, thank you again for your contribution and your support to the channel. Tune says, question, Marty. Do you think Mel will move back down from 68 to fight at 54? I think he will lose to Canelo and go to the 60s. He won't move back to 154, in my opinion. Well, because you said that, Tune, I don't think that Mel will look the same if he goes all the way up 2 weight classes to fight Canelo and then come back down. We've seen this in the history of boxing where boxers thought they would get away with playing with that weight, moving up and down in weight, fluctuating in weight, and you usually get clipped. So we don't want to see that happen to Jermell Charlo. We wanted to go make history with Canelo. Cool, get that big payday because that's what that's going to be. Major payday, win, lose, or draw. But you got to make sure that you maintain most of that weight, especially coming down because he got what, all 4 of the belts, right? We shall see. All right. Intelligent Savage, thank you for your contribution and your support to this channel. Says, salute, Manager Marty. Salute. Continued education in boxing, increasing exponentially when you got the mic talking boxing. Thank you, Intelligent Savage. I really appreciate that. You all know what I like to do when I come on here. I like to provide the 2 E's, education and entertainment. Oh, I see another content creator in the chat. Salute, Nick J. Salute to you, Nick J. I met Nick J at the fight. Very nice woman. Very knowledgeable about the sport of boxing. And I appreciate you being with us live in living color here, Nick J. Appreciate you so much. Salute to you, Queen. I always put respect on Crawford's name. What's wrong with y'all? Y'all want to talk about it? All right. We can talk about it. Now, I can do a nipping in the bud segment. That's not an issue. But I want to make sure it's beneficial to the audience. I want to make sure it's beneficial to the audience. That's my number 1 goal as a content creator. Is the audience going to like it? Okay? That's it. And so, tune in tonight, y'all. Listen. Y'all know I'm working hard if I'm doing 2 lives in one day. I've never done it before. So we all gonna make history together tonight at 8:00 p.m. Please don't forget, 8:00 p.m. Eastern time. Come on back to the channel right here. Just come on back. That's all you got. Just come on back. We're gonna have Harvey Dock, the referee, who was the 3rd man in charge in the Spence versus Crawford fight last Saturday night and the Devin Haney versus Lomachenko fight in May. He worked both fights back to back. We're going to get his perspective. We're going to get his opinion. Most importantly, we're going to highlight him as a man, as a boxing expert, how he got started in the business. What was his evaluation of this fight? What was his evaluation of Terrence Crawford and Spence, but Lomachenko and Haney? That ended in controversy, y'all. We're going to deal with all of that tonight, live in living color. I need each and every one of you to come back here at 8:00 tonight, Eastern time, 7:00 Central time, 5:00 p.m. Pacific time. Come on back, and I'm going to be well rested by that time. All right, I'm gonna shake all this stuff off. We got some answers. We got some answers for your questions tonight. And don't forget, you can ask me any question you want, particularly when Mr. Harvey Dock comes on this channel. Y'all know how we do. Super chats, and then your question can be asked, and then your question can be answered. You already know how we do. And we're going to do that again live tonight at 8:00. Okay? I'm not going to hold you too long. Any questions, comments, or concerns, shoot me an email. And I will make sure that we all be on the same page when it's over. Because we have one thing in common. Even if we disagree, we have one thing in common. And that is what? Our love and our support for the business and sport of boxing. So come back at 8 o'clock tonight. Harvey Doc will be here, live in living color. He's the referee of the Errol Spence versus Terrence Crawford fight, and he also was the referee of the Devin Haney versus Lomachenko fight. We got him here. Can't go nowhere else to get this exclusive interview. But he's going to come here tonight.